Hey guys, so about a year ago at this time, I made a NASCAR stop motion track tutorial. And in that video, I was going to show you pretty much everything that I do to make a NASCAR stop motion track. However, one of the clips did not work, and that one clip was the one of me putting the walls on the racetrack. And today I'm going to make a special video about me putting the walls on this racetrack. And for all of you who keep asking, this is what my walls are made out of. It's just found at Walmart. I would tell you what aisle you can find it in, but that's kind of a problem because depending on your Walmart will depend on where this is at. Every Walmart that I've ever looked for weather stripping in, it's in a different location. So, you know, this is pretty much what I use, and you can see it's got two of them in the package, each just two different rolls. So, you know, you can look at the information right there. That this is exactly what I get. Of course, you can get different types of weather stripping and it'll work just fine. But today I am going to put this on this racetrack and show you how I do it. So here we go. I've got the weather stripping out of the package now. Of course, there are two rolls of this, but I only need the one for right now. I've already taken off the top seal, so we're pretty much all good to go. This is extremely simple. All you need is the weather stripping and a pair of scissors, and that is it. It's sticky on the bottom, so if I can show you the stickiness, if it wants to come off here, there we go. So, you know, you can't really see the stickiness, but it's a little bit shiny there. You can kind of see it. But basically, all you do is put this down on the racetrack. So, you know, obviously it's sticky, so sometimes you may have a little bit of trouble like that, but you just slap it down like this, and that's about all. So that's pretty much it, and you just keep on doing that all the way around the racetrack. And after I get done with that, I'm going to show you what I do next. So I said earlier that you will need scissors, and this is the one part that you'll need scissors for, is cutting it right here. And this is a little bit tricky for me since I'm going around the camera, but pretty much you just cut it straight like that, and you press it down. And that's it. So that's what you need the scissors for, by the way. But the next part, and the final part really, is going over a second time, because these walls are pretty short unless you go a second time over them, and that's what I always do. So I'm going to take off the seal because I didn't do that already, which I should have done that off the camera, but hey, whatever. There we go. Don't need that anymore. So all you do is put it right on top of the first one. So that's it. One thing that is important when doing this is making sure you don't stretch the weather stripping out. Like you see, if you, let me turn the camera a little bit. If you like stretch it out like this, trying to get more out of it, which I've done before, it will not stick that well. It just kind of comes up a little bit. So I've had that problem with a couple of racetracks before. Then you got to replace the weather stripping, and which that is usually pretty tricky because it'll leave a sticky residue on the racetrack, and then if you put more sticky weather stripping on it, it doesn't work that well, and it's just a mess. Just don't stretch it out, basically, and you'll be fine. But I will come back in a few minutes with the finished project. So I now have all the walls finished, and the entire track is pretty much finished. It's kind of like a tri-oval racetrack, and it's actually the first time that I've made one of these. So hopefully you guys like it. It's a little bit unique as I kind of have a little bit more detail in the infield rather than what I usually have is just, you know, grass. But yeah, here's the scraps. Of course, the weather stripping is still good to use, but all the little seals. So there's usually quite a bit of scraps when you do this, but you can kind of get a close-up view of the wall there. It's really simple and it looks very clean, and it's pretty hard to mess up, so I highly recommend it for anybody who wants to make NASCAR stop motion races and you want to make professional looking racetracks. these walls are really good to use, so definitely buy these if you're going to make your own stop motion track. It costs like $3 for one package of weather stripping, and as you can see, I still have a lot of it left, so you can easily make 2 racetracks out of one package. So that's a pretty good deal. That's not a lot of money for some walls for NASCAR stop motion tracks. That's pretty much the end of the video. Leave a like if this was helpful for you, and I will see you next week for another new video.